Alrighty, we got a Christmas Kingdom, allies, and cornucopia guilds. Fittingly, it has shepherds on theme. Merry Christmas, Hardbot. What are we going to do today? So for draw, we got Marquis, Herald, and in the clashes pile, Warlord is draw, Battle Plan is draw if it connects with an attack card, and there's always attacks around in the kingdom. This kingdom also has Footpad as a third attack. Actions, Town is a village, Herald is a village if it connects with an action card. Trashing, we got Butcher and Infirmary, and then plus buy, Marquee and Town. There's also Butcher and Importer for gains. So definitely got everything you need to build here. Most significant card, I would think, is Warlord. Basically says you're not allowed to play Dominion. Easily the strongest attack in the entire game. And it tends to be if you can play that card, you win the game. So that seems pretty significant here. There's a little bit of redundancy in the kingdom, like you got 2 stacks of villages, a few stacks of draw cards. So you could get 2 of each and still have something resembling a functional deck. But there's also plenty of cards you'd happily take more than 2 copies of. Towns, Bakers, Heralds, even Butchers. And if your opponent's playing a Warlord every turn, it really constrains what you're allowed to do here. So I would like to be the one doing that, and not the one on the receiving end of that, if at all possible. Nothing else super significant. You got everything you need, and the engine will come together. How to open. On 4-3 or 5-2, I think it's got to be Infirmary. With the Baker coffer that you start out with, you can turn the 4-3 into a 5-3 and get an extra trash in immediately. And the value of trashing 2 cards immediately turn 1 is pretty darn high. I think on 3-4, you probably open Battle Plan Butcher. That's not a bad opening on 5-3 either, but I think I prefer the Infirmary. Killed 2 estates already. And gotta touch Battle Plan turn 2. I think Warlord is just so strong that it kind of breaks the opening principles of Dominion. Battle Plan is a card that, under any other circumstances, like you wouldn't open with a card that is just a blank cantrip and has absolutely 0 value for your deck. In general, it's really bad to open with cards that you're going to want later over cards that benefit your deck now. Like villages. Villages are great cards. You'd never open with a village because it doesn't have any value for you yet. But Warlord is just so incredibly game warping that it's important to have a battle plan in your deck immediately, because this pile, the only card that can rotate the pile and get you 2 Warlords is the battle plan. So if you open with it and your opponent doesn't, and then you rotate the pile the first time you find it, and then it's stuck on Archer, they have no control over when Warlord shows up. And you're free to wait and then rotate it or not rotate it whenever it benefits you. And so I think Battle Plan's a really common opener, despite the fact that it has 0 value in the opening, just because the sheer value of rotating the pile is so high. This is not true, I don't think, of any of the other rotating cards. Like, there's 6 of these piles in the Allies expansion, with 4 different cards and a rotator on top, and I don't think in any of the other ones is it nearly as significant to grab the top card, just for the sake of like being the one who controls when a later card shows up. All right, so I think I've already won the game. The rest of this is a formality. I've got 2 battle plans. Bot has 0. The Warlord pile is beyond its grasp. Took a village now. The upside of this is I am free to take as many of whatever action cards as I want, and I know the bot cannot really realistically get to Warlord without going through 4 archers, which is kind of a lot. The bot, on the other hand, cannot afford to touch too many action cards, because I could always rotate it, start playing Warlords, and the bot's in trouble. Ideally, the point I get to is to have enough deck control to be able to play 1 battle plan, rotate it to Warlord, play a Butcher, gain a Warlord, and then rotate the pile a second time, so that it's off of Warlord again before the bot's turn. And I think within a few turns I should be about at that stage. What's that bottom card? Probably copper. So you could play town and buy like Importer, Herald, or I could just trash and take a Butcher. I think I prefer the Butcher. Butcher's gonna be really good. Butcher's a really good card in general, and it's definitely better with Footpad around. This Infirmary can probably die about now. Speaking of which, does the bot? Yeah, the bot has 5 Heralds in its deck. Not on my watch. Doesn't really matter whether I reveal the card because I don't have any cards in my deck to draw. I want to make sure I play the Herald first, because like if I were to draw first and then play the Herald, it would run out of targets. Good job, Herald. I don't want to rotate that quite yet, do I? Yeah, I just want to rotate all the way to Archer, and then I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So I've only got space left to play one more action card. So I could either turn a copper into an importer, play the town, play both, or just turn the town into something non-terminal like a baker or a gold. I think copper into importer sounds better. Oh, I don't have enough coffers for that. Forget I said anything. Oh, with 2 coffers, I can't afford to do copper straight into a 3 cost. Okay, new plan. Town into baker, we buy the town. Oh, yeah, I think that's the play. I've been attacked. It's actually a little bit of an annoying Herald hit because it's the only attack on my deck, and now it's not in play to reveal. So I don't need to get a Warlord here. That can wait a turn because I've already got one in play. The last Herald. I think that bottom card is a town. Yeah, it's my town. So how about just another importer then? In this turn, I will certainly gain myself another Warlord. Baker, Footpad, I suppose. Once again, the only attack in my deck gets itself into play. At this point, I don't really need the draw though. Doesn't matter this turn. All right, play a town, or no? I'll play a Herald. Well, I've still got actions down there to play. Now a town. Rotate. Gain Warlord. Rotate. Maybe I shouldn't play this Baker actually. I think Baker into gold does more for me than playing the Baker and flashing a copper into a silver. Because I'm also going to draw the gold and be able to play it immediately. Butchering stuff into territories is gonna be kind of nice because now it comes with a free gold, and the plan is just gonna be butcher stuff into provinces from here on out. Yeah. So bot has a million heralds in the deck, and unfortunately, it can't do a whole lot with the rest of them. Herald kinda sorta gets around Warlord, but not really. Warlord only says you can't play action cards from your hand, and Herald plays cards from top of deck. So, for example, if you have 2 Heralds in hand, play a third Herald off of the second Herald. That's fine, because the Herald being played from deck doesn't violate the conditions. But if you have like 2 Heralds in hand, your first Herald, play the Herald from the top of your deck. It's still in play, and then you can't play the second Herald from your hand because you got 2 Heralds in play already. So it's still going to effectively shut down a stack of Heralds, even if occasionally you get like a third Herald play out of it. Uh, don't think I want to rotate. Territory looks kind of good right about now. Good job, Herald. So I'm not particularly a fan of Herald. It like it's not a bad card. It is a reasonably strong card. In a deck full of actions, it tends to be like a lost city. It is +2 cards, +2 actions, which is good for 4. You build a deck on Herald, it does stuff. But it is an obnoxious card because to play with a deck of Heralds, you basically lose control over the order you play your cards in. And I think there's so many kingdoms where playing your cards, not just playing all your cards, but playing your cards in the order you want them is really significant. So like the Herald hitting the 2 treasures in my deck is one thing. I think the more annoying thing of Herald is the like, oh, I have an attack card in my deck to line up with the battle plans, and then oops, I played it early. You lose control over stuff like that, and that's something that's a little harder to control even with the right deck composition. So I'm gonna need another village. It looks like. And maybe another one. Maybe this is too many villages. All right. Do I want a marquee? That's probably more draw than I need at the moment. I'll take another town now. Alrighty. Gotta watch out for the butcher and the town pile. Those could run. Well, gold into territory is just like a strict improvement. It's netting me draw. I get the gold back. Hard to say no to that. Don't rotate. Don't rotate. Looks like I could use a few more butchers, probably. But the butchers are low. The bot stack doesn't do a whole heck of a lot at the moment. So I can probably afford to do this. Gold into territory, territory into territory. The territory is only with 1 point for me at the moment, but I could fix that pretty quickly. Yeah, I think I value the territories more than the gold. I got 15 coffers right now. And just some estates. The estates are worth 3 points each. At least the first 5 are, because I have 5 favors from Importer and the starting favor. And so the first 5 estates I buy with no other 2s in the deck are all worth 3 points. They'll also buff the territory. Could be a state duchy even. Maybe that's better. Yeah, bot just can't do anything. Nor can Herald. And this should be the last turn of the game. So I don't need a Warlord anymore. I have too many coffers. Maybe I should have been taking provinces sooner. Yeah. I think the bot still struggles with Clash's Kingdoms. He just undervalues the strength of Warlord. This is one of the kingdoms where, or one of just about every kingdom with clashes, where you play the card you win, and that's about it.